Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of a Stormcast character called the Lord Veritant. Now, there's been loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of Stormcast, adjudicator, whatchamado, every legal term under the book. But the Lord Veritant is actually kind of a cool model in terms of the mechanics. He's a wizard hunter, and if his Gryph Hound is within like 3 inches of a wizard, you add 3 to like your unbind rolls, because the Gryph Hound is like jumping all over the wizard and all that, and kind of narratively that's pretty darn cool. I also like kind of the Roman toga kind of look to it, which is what these guys are leaning on for a good long time. The pose is good, and he's got the Lantern of Abjuration as well, which gives some cool kind of modeling potential in there. So looking at the packaging here, it's it's a standard clamshell blister pack. It doesn't leave a whole lot to the imagination. You can actually see all the details inside. You've got his cloak at the back. He's got kind of a cool amulet with the little lightning bolts kind of coming around. You can see the Gryph Hound here, which is pretty solid. You get the lantern in at the back. You can see the 2 bases for the Gryph Hound and the Lord Veritant in there as well, the head and all that. So not a whole lot in terms of kind of surprise as to what's going on here. But let's cut this guy open and see what he looks like. All right, after some very subtle work with an X-Acto knife, I've got our Lord Veritant all opened up here. So I'll just kick this guy open, and we'll take a look at all the goodies. Again, decent packaging. It's all kind of locked in there. All right, so we can see here that we've got the back of our Lord Veritant here. We've got his, obviously his scroll work that comes off the side, the plates on the chest. He's also got this kind of scaly kind of armor in the background as well, which is kind of cool. Looking at the actual Gryph Hound itself, basic kind of Gryph Hound head. The lantern's pretty cool. The sword is pretty sweet as well. Easy to kind of paint and wash, which is kind of one of the hallmarks of the Stormcast kits for sure. I'm also liking that the lantern is in 1 piece, and I know that sounds a little strange, but whenever they do it in 2 pieces, it never quite seems to line up, or maybe that's just me. He's also got some kind of fetishes on the knees here that give him a little bit of a kind of a starburst pattern, which goes along with his crest on his helm here as well. So looking pretty solid. Next step for me and for you guys is going to be to assemble this all, and we'll be right back through the magic of YouTube. Alright, I got them all assembled up, and I kind of wanted to save the instructions for after we've got him together. I'm going to be honest, this was a super simple, easy kit to put together. There's only 10 parts total for the Lord Veritant himself, and only 4 for the Gryph Hound. So, again, GW's done a really great job lately with their instruction manuals. Everything's kind of color-coded. This is where you put your glue. This is how you tie things together. The kind of the bluey aqua kind of color here shows what was built in the last step and how all these other pieces go in. Very easy, very simple to put together. Nice different views on the model here, of course. And just super great. They even give like a little sample of what this looks like so that you know which side the lantern should be facing. Not even that was an issue at all. So very easy to put together, and the Gryph Hound was absolutely easy to put together. It's humorously so. Literally, it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, blam, Gryph Hound. Awesome. Okay, so as far as putting together, very easy. Instructions very easy to see, full color, all that, and this is also doubling as the front of the package as well. So less waste is better, I guess. Okay, so here are our assembled models, and I'm going to take a quick look at the Gryph Hound first. He's the easy one, and as far as kind of 4-part models goes, there's lots of animation, which is really cool. From a painting perspective, there's lots of deeper details where we can get some washes in and get some nice subtle shading on our friend here. We've also got some fetishes around this this harness that goes around. There's that cool hook that goes on the outside there as well. And of course he's got that chest chargey piece. As he jumps in, he'll jab you with that while he's clawing you to death and beaking you to death. Really sweet looking model, lots of character to it, which is really cool. You know, the feathers in here, I can see this kind of cool metallic-y look to it. And with the beak, actually, as I was assembling the model, I had my thumb got caught in the flesh of my thumb got caught in the beak here, and it actually genuinely hurt, which was hilarious. So you know, a real decent model for you know, taking down wizards for sure. You can see there's fetishes down the side, and yeah, just a decent little model altogether. Going to be fun to paint for sure. The next one here is going to be our, of course, our Lord Veritant. And, you know, quite a striking pose for the model, especially since we've got him mounted up on this kind of rocky outcropping here. You can see that the wind is flowing through the robes and the scroll work and all of that. He's got this nice big cape, which should have him stand out from a lot of the other models. I find that, you know, it's a little bit samey kind of going on with a lot of the models, but, you know, having this, you know, kind of a nice white kind of, you know, anti-wizard guy in the center of the field to really call your eyes to this model, which is pretty sweet. As I mentioned before, the starburst elements are carried all throughout the, you know, the iconography here on the knee, on kind of this cod piece here, on his mask and his plume up at the top here. We've also got it on the lantern, so we can see that it pretty much is consistent all the way throughout. This kind of, you know, holy saint of Sigmar type look to him, so it's pretty sweet. The scroll work has lots of details, but we've seen that before. And in the sword, there's these nice deep depths here where we can really get in there and ink it and wash it and really call out that detail. We've got a little bit of the lightning bolt theme carried through the sword and some gems down at the bottom. Now, the lantern itself, I think, was the only real disappointment in the model, and only in one spot. I love the fact, as I mentioned earlier, that it is one piece, so it looks nice and unified all the way through. You're not fiddling around to make that work. The lack of detail in the lantern is a little underwhelming, simply because there's so much we could do with it, and but it's just kind of blandish. So we'll have to shade that something cool, maybe some blues or all that to show off that magic. But there is detail along the side, which of course will draw your eye in. So I think it'll be just fine. So for these two guys here, I really. You know, I really think it'll be nice to see these guys out on the field. It's a little tricky to kill Stormcast in general, so there tends to be this, you know, big proliferation of magic, and this kind of, you know, balances the meta out that way, where you can actually, you know, project some power against the wizards in the game, which is a nice addition. But as far as the model goes itself, it's going to be a nice characterful piece, and your eye will really be drawn to it. Just you know, again, through the white cloak, the, you know, the big shining lantern, and of course the sword held aloft there, which will be pretty sweet. So, basic review, decent model. I'm really think it'll be a lot of, you know, character on the table, which is great. It's going to be a blast to paint. I think it'll be nice to kind of break up the visuals that we've had with the Stormcast so far, and it'll be nice to have them out on the field. So, you know, thumbs up. Pretty good model. Again, it's there's nothing really huge kind of going on here with this model. It's still a Stormcast model and all of that. But again, it'll fit right in with your Stormcast army, and I think it'll be a pretty solid addition nonetheless. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope this was of value. We're going to be painting these two up here fairly quickly, and we'll be adding them to the table right away. So if you liked the video, feel free to hit that like button, and if you're interested in seeing more videos just like this, that subscribe button is one click away, and you'll get notifications of all of our future videos. And I just want to say thanks again, and we'll catch you in the next video.